And welcome again to Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. This is my post-match reaction, my 5 takeaways from Fulham's victory against Brighton Hove Albion. I so much look forward to giving you my 5 takeaways in this 15 to 20 minute episode where I'm just going to share what I'm taking out of the match. We will have a full post-match show. We'll go into much more detail on this 1-0 victory for Fulham. And I look forward to doing all shows. We might have potentially 3 shows on this match. It's a huge victory for Fulham, and I'll be sharing my thoughts, my 5 takeaways coming up. Before I do that, as always, if you do subscribe, thank you very much. If you don't, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us, especially on Apple Podcasts. If you could leave us a review and also a rating, that will help us get higher up in the numbers and help supporters of all clubs find us. So I appreciate everyone that subscribes. If you haven't, I would love it if you would. So just want to mention that. I mentioned that on every show. Okay. So let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. And if you're watching live, feel free to share a comment or two. I might share it during the show. So here are my 5 takeaways coming out of this massive 1-0 victory for Fulham on the road at the Amex Stadium. And I'm going to start by talking a little bit about Brighton Hove Albion. And I want to give them the credit that they deserve. This is a very good side. They will be contending for a European spot, potentially with Fulham the rest of the season. It's a team that actually has improved under their new manager, I think. And it's a team that loves to possess the ball, made things very difficult for Fulham. But it just wasn't their day. It was Fulham's day. But that does not mean that this is not a club that could potentially be in the top 6 and maybe even contend farther up than that. That's how good they are. I think right now, what we saw in this match, maybe from both teams, missing a striker. I know Danny Welbeck was out for them, and of course, Fulham were without Mitro. But beyond that, this is a team that is very dangerous and has earned my respect in the 2 matches that I've watched Fulham play against them. It's a very good side. I expect them to be in the mix for a European spot. They're not going anywhere. That's my opinion on Brighton Hove Albion. So I know they didn't get the rub of the green Fulham did today. That doesn't mean that they're not a good side. They are a very good side. So I just wanted to share that. Okay, so let's go to number 4. And of course, it's a smash and grab. I know it's a smash and grab, but I'm going to ask the question. So what if it's a smash and grab? I actually think it's a good thing that it's a smash and grab because it shows growth from this side that they can find a way to win where if you look at just performance, the other side would argue that they were the much better team. I wouldn't say much better team, but they were the better team. But they took their opportunity when they had it, and they got all 3 points. And they've been on the other side of these losses, I would say, for them against Tottenham. We saw that against Manchester United, against Man City. Arsenal, they've been close, but they have lost some of these matches. What goes around comes around. This is their moment. And I think it actually shows the growth of Fulham that they can pull off a smash and grab. So this is not a bad thing. This is actually a positive. So what I'm saying, so what if it's a smash and grab? I'm saying it's a good thing that it's a smash and grab. They will have better performances. They will absolutely have better performances. But who got all 3 points? It was Fulham. I don't care how they did it. They got all 3 points. It was difficult. Full credit to Brighton Hove Albion. They're going to make the argument that Fulham didn't do enough to win the match. I would differ. I would very much differ. Defensively, I thought they were very good, and they took their opportunity when they did. Brighton Hove Albion did not. I know that they had 2 goals that were called for offside. Okay, that's fine. They had plenty of opportunities, but they did not score. Fulham did. Fulham deserved to win the match. I'm just going to come out and say it. There's nothing wrong with a smash and grab. That's my commentary on that. That's number 4. I'm going to move to number 3. And I'm just going to ask the question because watch the match. And did Matoma play in this match against Fulham? Because what I watched was a masterclass from Kenny Tete, who just, I wouldn't say made it difficult, but he certainly made it more difficult on this play. Matoma's a very good player. He's an excellent player. But what Kenny Tete did, forcing him out wide on his other foot, I thought, again, played to the weakness that Matoma has and did not give him his strength. That was very smart by Kenny Tete. He played great in this match. Nothing against Matoma. This had more to do with Kenny Tete. Kenny Tete was fantastic. All of the defenders were fantastic. But when you look back at it, you watch the entire match, and you see the lack of opportunities that Matoma had. Kenny Tete had a lot to do with it. He was trying, but Kenny Tete was making it, and I'll say it now, difficult on him. I know I said, was he making it difficult? Yeah, I guess you could say he was making it harder on him. Maybe that's a better word. So I think Kenny Tete deserves a lot of credit. I don't know if I would even give him man of the match because I think there were some very good performances. He is definitely in contention. But for him to shut this player down, definitely my number 3 takeaway. And he is proven to be the starting right back for Fulham Football Club. Just stay healthy, Kenny. That's all we ask. Just stay healthy. Please stay healthy. We want you to stay healthy because when you play well, Fulham play well. I can say that about both fullbacks. And even though I don't think this was one of Anthony Robinson's better games, but usually when he plays well, Fulham play well. Same thing with Kenny Tete, with many players. Paulinho, when they play well, Fulham seem to play well. Kenny Tete had a very good match. And I don't think it's an accident that he had a good match and Fulham won the match because he did his job. Sometimes you just got to do your job. Do your defensive duties. He did it here. He's a great two-way player. He can go forward, cross them with the best of them, use his pace, but he can also get back and do his defensive duties. That's his number 1 job. And he did it well in this match. So definitely Kenny Tete deserves a lot of credit. And that's why he's part of my number 3 takeaway. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. And it's about the goal from Manu Solomon. Great finish, great power from Manu Solomon. Happy that he scored the goal. Listen, they didn't have many opportunities, and he took this extremely well. Great goal. Fantastic goal. Deserves all the credit. Manu Solomon showed some pace and just ran with it and didn't think about it, shot it, and put it in the back of the net. Great goal from Manu Solomon. But it wasn't just about him. It was also about the players that set up the goal and also his teammates in general. Let's start with Tim Ream. What a great pass from Tim Ream. Tim Ream sets this whole thing up. He really does. He sets the whole thing up. It gets to Vinicius. I know there's been a lot of complaints about Vinicius, but this was a great assist by Vinicius, setting up Manu Solomon to score the goal. But this is not an accident. This is what good teams do. And they play for each other. They fight for each other. And that's what you saw here because Brighton Hove Albion were going for the winner. And all it took, not all, but if you understand where I'm going on it, was players to do their job. Tim Ream to make the right pass. Vinicius make the right pass to Solomon, who had the space that he needed to put it in the back of the net. You still need to make the finish, and that's why Manu Solomon deserves so much credit for that. But it wasn't just about him. It was about his teammates. And overall, this was a team victory. I just want to say that. It's a team victory defensively because that's where this all starts. It all starts with their defensive duties. It leads to a goal. And for me, this is, I'm going to call it a team goal. I know Manu Solomon scored the goal, but there were other players involved with it, and they deserve a lot of credit too. So I just wanted to say that. Okay. Coming up next to end this episode of Cottage Talk, I'm going to give you my number 1 takeaway for Fulham's victory against Brighton Hove Albion at the Amex. Okay, here's my number 1 takeaway. Please feel free to share your comments in the comments section. I do have a few, and I will be getting to them shortly. But I'm going to share with you my number 1 takeaway. And it's simple. Fulham are going to contend for a European spot. In my last show to preview the match, I said everything changes if Fulham win this match. That they would then have the opportunity, I think, to seriously be in contention for a European spot. I believe that now. They're on 38 points. And not only do I feel because they got the 3 points, but it's the confidence that you can get from this match that it proves that they can beat a team in the top 6. Brighton Hove Albion were in the top 6 at the time. So let's put it there. They go on the road, a difficult place to go on the road, a team that has the majority of the possession, and you find a way to get a victory, just like Tottenham did at Craven Cottage, just like Manchester United. You deserve to be talked about with these teams. You are going to challenge for a European spot. Fulham, I truly believe that now. They showed me something. That's how big this was. If they did not win this match, I don't know if I would feel that strongly. I was always going to feel that Fulham should go for that European spot to try to contend. This is different. I think they're going to contend. I think they're going to be much higher than the projection I had on a prior show of 10th. I think that they have an opportunity to get maybe 6th. That's where they are right now. I say, why not? And Fulham deserve it. Fulham deserve, they've earned everything. Marco Silva, the players, they've earned where they are. And I think what separates them from some of the other teams around them, and there's some very good teams around them. You look at Chelsea, you look at Liverpool. Why are Fulham doing better right now? Yes, you could point to the matches in hand. Of course, you could say that. But Fulham are playing as an 11. They are playing as a team. They're not playing as individuals. That's why Chelsea is losing matches. That's why Chelsea is not playing well. Liverpool is going through some struggles right now. Why are Fulham where they are? It's because they're a complete team. That's why. It's not just about one player. Mitro doesn't play today. They still win the match. What does that show you? It shows you it's not about one player. It's about a team. It's about a midfield engine. It's about that back four. It's about the goalkeeper. It's about the wingers. It's about the striker. But together, they make a team. That's what has separated Fulham this season. That's why I'm proud to be a Fulham supporter. Regardless, very proud of this team, though. Very proud of everything that they've accomplished. And there's so much more that they can accomplish. They're on the road to contending for a European spot. I don't know if they're going to get one, but they're going to be in the mix along with Brighton Hove Albion. Absolutely. Brighton Hove Albion will be right there. Brentford probably will be as well. But you know what? Fulham deserve to be where they are. So that's why Fulham are going to contend for a European spot is my number one takeaway from this match. I'm going for it. Okay, so to end the show, I do have some comments. So I am going to share them in just a second. So I'm going to share all comments. I'm not really reading, so I'm just going to share them. The most unlikely of wins, smash and grab at its finest. It's great being a Fulham fan at the moment. Europe, here we come. That's my point, my friend. Europe, here we come. Why not? Why not? I said, I hope that they contend. Now I'm going to say they are going to contend. Good point from What on Earth? This is from my friend Chris Goodwin. Fulham gained 2 points on Manchester City. That's funny. Good point there, Chris. Very good point. Let's see. This is from Steve Reynolds. They had the chances but did not convert. We had one and scored. Who feels worse off? Very interesting. Okay, this is from Monty Maz. While it wasn't pretty, sometimes you have to take the good, say, with the bad. 3 points, a step closer to the 40 points. Man of the match, Bern Leno. Great goal from Manor Solomon. Come on, you whites. Thank you very much, my friend. Good stuff from you. See what else we got. This is from Billy C. That was a huge victory today. Not the best display, but those 3 points mean so much. Roll on Friday night. Absolutely. Let's bring on Wolves Friday night. Great point there. This is from my friend Val Colossi. Smash and grab. About time we had a bit of luck, especially as we under pressure nearly all the game. I think we only had 2 to 3 shots. Still was a great rear guard action by the team. Val, that's my point. They didn't have many opportunities, but it's what you did with them. With that one. That's all it took. Let's see. It's from Carlton. A great result, but terrible performance. We got lucky today with a moment of class. I don't know if I agree with you with being lucky. I understand what you're talking about with the performance because you're hoping for better, but I think you're also not giving enough credit to Brighton Hove Albion because I think they made Fulham look that way. However, they did have that moment of magic. Sometimes that's all you need. We saw that when Fulham played Tottenham and Harry Kane had that magic moment. You got to give it to him sometime. I think you got to give it to Fulham in this instance. Okay. One more comment and they're going to wrap this up. Chris says, BDR was mostly quiet today, but his versatility is huge. Played 3 different positions. Very good point, Chris. Excellent point. And that's why I'm a big fan of Bobby Decordova-Reid. Just a team player. Simple. I started this show talking about a team win. Bobby Decordova-Reid is a team player. Okay, great stuff. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to Cottage Talk. I can't thank you enough. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, as I always say, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. Also want to mention we will have more commentary on this huge victory for Fulham. I know that there are Brighton Hove Albion supporters. I was listening in the car to a lot of commentary talking about time wasting and also about potential cheating by Fulham. I'm going to address that on the next show because I've got thoughts about that and also thoughts about some stuff with Brighton Hove Albion as well. So I'm going to focus on that on the next show. This is about 5 takeaways, but I will talk about some of the commentary from the Brighton Hove Albion supporters after this match. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. My name is Russ Coleman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, now part of the TalkSport Fan Network.